I really believe my father inspired me to be a social worker, although he never heard of a social worker.
Well, I don't really know how, but all I know is from the day I graduated from high school, I wanted to be a social worker.
I just always knew that whatever I ended up doing in life, I wanted it to be a very selfless job, and I feel like social work is literally the most selfless profession.
I decided I want to work with people and not machinery, and not to just push things around. That there was something nice about it because you could see what you did immediately after doing it.
I believe my inspiration in life is the need that I have to help others. This is a gift.
My first experience at school social work was my second year placement at St. Louis. And I was a school social worker in East St. Louis, and I loved it. I just loved it.
I practiced social work for 52 years. Of course, I like to think of myself as being a social worker all my life.
I just realized that I wanted to work on the advocacy and social justice end of things.
My starting salary was $16,500, and that was after I had turned down an offer that was $11,500.
My starting salary was $18,000, which was actually pretty good at the time.
The most challenging aspect of my career is the bureaucracy at times.
To me, the most challenging is getting payments for people who really needed help.
One of the most challenging aspects I have encountered in social work was getting people to change.
A lot of issues that we come in contact with as social workers is because either society or the system or other people have pushed on people that they are hopeless or they can't help themselves. So if I can show people that they have hope and they have the ability to be empowered, then that's the most beautiful thing.
The reward for me of my career is hearing feedback from clients about how I have helped them change their lives.
The most rewarding part of my career is when I see that a family goes away from my station and I see their faces with satisfaction.
To me, working with the immigrants coming from the Iron Curtain countries was the most rewarding. One time I found somebody I did not expect, a young lady. We used to sit to have lunch and we'd sit with just anybody. This lady said to me, "Where did you work?" And I said I worked at the Jewish Family Service Agency, because she kept looking at me and I wondered, what is it about me that makes her look at me? And she said, "Did you do resettlement?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, you were my mother's social worker, and I'm a social worker today because of you."
One woman said to me one day when I was meeting with them on one-to-one basis, and this woman broke down in tears and she said, "No one has ever asked me that question before about my life."
The most challenging issue that I find facing our society today is haves and have-nots.
And this social issue of poverty and discrimination are still with us, and that's what we were dealing with 50 years ago.
Unless you get out of poverty, you're stuck in a no-win situation.
I think the most challenging social issue facing our society today is the inequitable treatment of undocumented immigrants.
Getting social issues and social problems solved is not about coming toe-to-toe at a line. It's pretty much making a circle around it.
The most common misperception of social workers, I believe, is that social workers are a bit bleeding hearts and can be easily led astray. In fact, social workers are very strategic.
Social workers have to facilitate. They are facilitators. They have to go in and use their training, their skills, to help people to help themselves.
We still today have people who don't realize that social workers do more besides give out welfare checks or remove children. But yet our numbers show We're providing 2/3 or more of the direct care services in health and human services in the country.
It's hard to say where I think social work is going to go because I don't see where it won't go. Fighting for social justice is just something that trickles into every area and every profession, in my opinion. It should.
Advocacy skills, I think, are the future. Advocating for ourselves and for what we need for our clients, maybe with more fervor and more passion than we've been.
I think a need for us as social workers to refocus our attention to those who are most in need and coming up with strategies that are the most effective.
You're in a profession as a social worker to help create social change and promote social justice.
If I was limited to only one word to sum up my career in social work, that word would be joy.
Hope.
Selflessness.
Advocacy.
Social work is helping.
Human rights and social justice in action.
Social workers are agents of change, and I very much have enjoyed being such an agent.